Look at this chaotic network. Prior to 2015, this was the reality of SAP analytics. We are looking at a highly segmented environment where data lived in distinct, disconnected nodes that rarely communicated in real time. Enterprises relied on an array of specialized tools: Web Intelligence, Lumira, Business Explorer, and BPC. Each served a specific function, but they demanded entirely separate installations and carried steep learning curves for users trying to navigate between them. The architectural flaw here was data movement. To generate a single comprehensive report, engineering teams had to constantly extract, copy, and manually replicate data across these disjointed systems. Without a unified framework, enterprise agility was limited. Planners were forced to wait on IT interventions and slow, overnight batch data transfers just to understand their current financial standing. To solve this structural friction, SAP initiated a complete rebuild in early 2015 under the internal codename Project Orca. The objective was to build a multi-tenant software-as-a-service platform from the ground up. The SAP Business Technology Platform locks directly onto the SAP HANA database, providing the in-memory processing speed to calculate massive datasets in real time. Data flows continuously, bypassing old batch silos entirely. This engineering initiative yielded SAP Analytics Cloud, or SAC. For the first time, a vendor natively unified business intelligence, planning, and predictive analytics into a single cloud ecosystem. As the platform evolved, so did the ecosystem around it, leading to dedicated resources like SAPplans.com, acting as an FP&A companion for business outcomes. The launch of SAC was an architectural collapse of historic data boundaries, centralizing the entire analytical workflow into one environment. The platform we know today took several years to fully converge. When it launched in 2015 as SAP Cloud for Planning, the focus was strictly on financial and operational data entry. By 2016, SAP rebranded the system to Business Objects Cloud, folding their emerging data visualization capabilities directly into that planning foundation. This diagram illustrates the final major convergence in 2017. SAP integrated an automated predictive analytics layer. We see BI, planning, and predictive analytics, all three merge into a single entity. The platform officially became SAP Analytics Cloud. Even with this unified backend, a divide remained in the user interface. Casual business users built simple reports using stories, while professional developers had to switch to a separate space called Analytics Designer to write custom scripts. In 2023, SAP released the Unified Story Experience. As we see here, the casual dashboarding environment and the complex developer application space snap together into a single workspace. By removing this architectural wall, SAC allowed rapid business analysis and deep developer customization to operate simultaneously without conflict. While the analytics side matured, the back-end SAC planning engine underwent an aggressive evolution. In its Phase 1 infancy, it was positioned as a cloud-based alternative to on-premises systems. Early deployments utilized hybrid planning. Planners used the cloud interface for data entry, but the system still relied on writing that data directly back into massive on-premises SAP BPC models for heavy lifting. Between 2019 and 2022, Phase 2 arrived. SAC severed its dependency on BPC entirely, rising as a standalone enterprise engine. SAP introduced advanced data actions. The platform could now process complex, multi-step calculations, currency conversions, and intercompany eliminations natively, using its own computational power. To give executives control over this power, SAP built value driver trees. Watch this cascading diagram. The top node represents a macro strategic driver, in this case, a commodity price increase being adjusted upwards. We can see how that single high-level adjustment ripples down the entire model, instantly updating the bottom line net profit node at the base. This was paired with Smart Predict integration, allowing the system to scan historical patterns and automatically generate baseline statistical forecasts directly within the planning grids. The planning engine had transitioned from a data entry interface to an autonomous system capable of executing complex logic and automated statistical forecasting. That computational power enabled Phase 3, recognizing that financial plans lose accuracy when they lack direct visibility into the operational drivers that move the numbers. This model represents Extended Planning and Analysis, or XP&A. It is an ecosystem that connects three distinct operational pillars side by side: The first pillar is integrated financial planning, which houses the core monetary metrics like cost centers, cash flow, and capital expenses. The second pillar is workforce planning. Notice how it connects directly to SAP SuccessFactors and S/4HANA. Because of this connection, any shift in personnel expenses, promotions, or headcount changes automatically maps back into the master financial budget. The third pillar is supply chain and commercial planning, which ties in directly to SAP Integrated Business Planning. This integration guarantees that physical supply realities, how many units you can actually source and ship, are mathematically aligned with your monetary profitability models. These integrations are live and bidirectional. When operations adjust a supply constraint, the financial models instantly recalculate. When finance cuts a budget, operations sees the exact operational impact. FP&A transforms corporate budgeting from an isolated finance exercise into a holistic model of the entire enterprise's physics. Looking to the 2024 to 2026 strategic horizon, SAP has anchored the architecture around the shared data fabric. The era of heavy, error-prone batch data replication between systems is over. We can see this in the architecture. A foundational layer of SAP DataSphere drops in, and the entire FP&A model sits directly on top of it, with zero intermediate extraction layers. Through live connections, planners now model their complex calculations directly on top of governed ERP semantics. By eliminating data movement entirely, SAP guarantees that every department's plan operates on a single, universally true version of the facts. With the data fabric secured, planner interaction moves to generative AI, driven by the SAP Joule Copilot. Joule alters the workflow entirely. As you see here, a user can simply type "detect underlying variance drivers," and the AI analyzes the data fabric to instantly highlight the specific nodes causing the discrepancy. This level of integration dictates SAP's rigid product roadmap for legacy customers. While legacy tools like SAP Business Objects feature support roadmaps extending beyond 2030, their feature innovation cycle is effectively frozen. SAP has made the constraints explicit. All net new collaborative planning innovations, FP&A capabilities, and advanced AI assistants are deployed exclusively inside SAC planning. Navigating this shift requires precise methodology, which is why resources like sapplans.com exist to serve as an FP&A companion for business outcomes. The transition from disconnected silos to an AI-driven ecosystem ensures that enterprise strategy is built on a live, governed model of the entire business.